Okay, everybody, so this is my spoiler review of the Adam Project, the new Netflix original film. This comes from director Sean Levy and also very famous producer Sean Levy, who's done Stranger Things, Free Guy, much more stuff. He's been around for a while, and he's teaming up again with Ryan Reynolds producing this, like they did Free Guy, and he's got a team of writers on this film. And it was impressive because to me this script right off the bat was really strong, especially with having so many writers working on it, which usually is a red flag, but not the case here. Now, like all Ryan Reynolds projects, I really think a lot of you liking it or not hinges on how much you like Ryan Reynolds, if he's your cup of tea or not. I've said in my previous reviews, I'm a huge Ryan Reynolds fan. I am totally down with his sarcasm, his wit, his great improvising, his humor. It always hits me, and that might be a big biased reason why I actually really adored this film, but I could see it being polarizing again, like all Ryan Reynolds projects, where with a lot of comedy in general, too, like Will Ferrell, a lot depends on how much you like the type of humor and that person. What's so great, though, is we have this surprise amazing performance from the character of Adam's younger self playing the young Ryan Reynolds here, Walker Scobell, who absolutely kills Ryan Reynolds' type of sarcasm, his wit, and just the mannerisms. It's down to a T. I'm pretty sure he's wearing contacts because he has blue eyes in real life, and then he has those Ryan Reynolds dark brown eyes here. But he really transforms into Ryan Reynolds as a kid, does it so well. So it's so impressive for a kid actor. But it's got such a great cast around Ryan Reynolds. We got Jennifer Garner, Mark Ruffalo, Zoe Saldana, who always love seeing and stuff. She's so great, and it's amazing. I saw a stat somewhere on Twitter that movies she's in just constantly get high viewership, so there is something about her people love. But it was actually a relief too to not see her in heavy makeup like she is for Guardians of the Galaxy or Avatar, where she's CGI'd. This is her in her full form, where I was just saying all the time, I want to see this more. And Catherine Keener, as always, plays a great villain here. So what works really well about this film to me is the story, right? And that it has a clear-cut message in it, and that's said towards the end of the film, where we get this great scene where the two Adams are talking to each other, and the younger Adam's saying it's easier to be angry than to be sad, right? This is the whole message of the film. And there's a great line before that where they're talking about his hate for his father, and he's like, you hate him because he died. You made yourself hate him so you didn't miss him. Dad always had a catch, even if he was tired. So I thought all of this was great. There was just certain scenes that really stuck with me, and they did a good job of, like, the moment it almost felt like it was getting too sappy at points, it would hit with some kind of witty remark by Ryan Reynolds or some action. So they had a nice balance of tone here. And you knew this was coming, scenes like this, because there was really good scenes even just in the beginning with Jennifer Garner and Ryan Reynolds in the bar, and he's talking to his mom, and they had a fun time just playing around with the time travel in a way where they didn't obsess about the time travel itself. That really isn't something they were like, oh, we got to get the logic right. It wasn't the point of the film. The time travel is just there as a plot device to get things going to where they need to be. They actually just had fun with these characters, and again, the message, and it was a good plot that they were trying to destroy time travel, so that felt a little more fresh too. But even this scene, it's portrayed so beautifully by Ryan Reynolds here when he's talking to his mom, and Ryan Reynolds really showing his acting chops in this film, especially his dramatic acting chops. And I love the message it had here too about him telling his former self through all his regrets he's had in life, to be good to his mom, that his mom is suffering, and that he tells the mom to tell her son that she has this sadness in her and that she is struggling. You don't have to be perfect. Like, all these themes were just clicking so well in this film, and they got their payoffs by the end, and it really paid off, all this setup with those kind of moments, because it really hit home when young Adam later on clicks to him and he remembers somewhere in his brain that his future self told him to hug his mom extra tight. I thought that was really well done. And I also thought a lot of the action was really well done here with keeping it interesting. And what really stood out to me is this chase scene where they're getting chased by Mia, the two Adams, and they're flying, and I love that he stops the jet and then goes, but it had a nice rhythm to it, and it had stakes that were interesting. It wasn't just overloaded with action here. Every action scene had a little story in it of who was the target, who they're running from, and it kept that suspense up, which I thought was really nice. But there was little humorous moments that were so great and subtle. Like, one of my favorites was Adam is with Laura here, and she's meeting young Adam for the first time, and she's basically giving exposition for the film for us to understand giving it to the older Adam. But while she does that, she goes, "Here, make sure you eat something," to young Adam, and she hands him a carrot, and he just mouths, "What the F?" I thought that was so funny. And it shows already that comic timing that Walker Scobell has and how good he is at it already. And one of the best humorous scenes is when Mark Ruffalo comes into the picture, and it's just always exciting when you see a scene in film that you feel like you've never seen before. And that's really here. It really stood out. It was like so brilliant to me where he's fighting with the adult Adam, trying to be nice to the younger Adam, and they're both reacting to their dad at the same time. And he's like, "Why did you grow up to be an asshole?" And then he's like, "I thought you loved me." And then the younger one responds, "I do." I thought that was just great. And it was great to see the older Adam talk to the younger Adam in front of the dad and how differently they're trying to react to him. So cool. And just again, that moments like this with Mark Ruffalo and Ryan Reynolds just doing awesome with the improvising clearly with some of the comedic responses to each other. They probably took so many takes trying different things. They still brought in, again, nice heartwarming things, touching things to make those payoffs earn. Like the scene where they're having the catch at the end and they disappear was great. And that had to be earned by having moments where, he's asking his dad to be a father, not just a scientist. And again, like that picnic scene, which really was the best to me with the young Adam talking to the older Adam, about not being mad anymore. And it's just even a heartbreaking moment when you see young Adam wants to tell his father so bad that he dies. I thought that was great. It's not Spielberg level, but it's clearly inspired where you have such good adventure here, action, but a lot of heart. And I love the pace of this film too. I thought it constantly was moving. It was doing what it needed to do, especially for its target audience, right? That someone wants just to escape but feel warmth from it, but also a lot of laughing. It was just your classic feel-good blockbuster that really was effective in what it was trying to do. Now, only criticisms I might have is that maybe the storyline with Zoe Saldana's character of Lauren didn't get enough time, and then it makes me think maybe it wasn't even needed. I think it is a nice touch, and it's great to always have her in a film, but, it kind of just was there to set up that big moment at the end where he finds her again, which was awesome, but I felt like maybe it was just adding another thing they probably didn't even need because they already had this strong story with the dad, and that, we really at the end of the day didn't get much time with Laura. Now, maybe if there's a sequel, it will be more justified, but again, maybe if you look at it a different way, that maybe that wasn't totally needed. It was still effective, but definitely need a little more time there because I still barely felt like I knew Laura, so maybe the payoff didn't feel as strong. And I like with the villain of Mia that they gave her a scene to talk about how all her life is this mission, right, with the time travel, and that she doesn't have a life outside of it, and she's talking to her younger self. But I don't know if, Catherine Keener, do we really even need to have the de-aging effect or CGI? I don't know if that was completely necessary. Just kind of let her look how she is, and I thought that maybe her character could have used a little more screen time too, even just to get a little more about her motivation of what she does so she's not too one-dimensional as a villain. Now, I love in this final battle scene, we get the tease about the lightsaber he has, Adam, and then the younger Adam finally gets to play with it. And I love that they do the superhero landing line, a shout out to Deadpool, obviously, with Ryan Reynolds. That was cool. I love kind of anything Ryan Reynolds has that right to break that fourth wall and kind of step outside of the movie in our heads. And you can't go wrong with having Boston Foreplay Long Time playing during that scene. So good music choice. So overall, I'm giving this film an 8.8. It's always hit or miss with Netflix films where they'll get a big cast and it's a little disappointing or it's just not that good. But this one felt like there's a lot of passion put into it, love put into it, and it was really well done. So I definitely recommend it. And I think that it is fun for adults and younger people. Again, maybe not kids because it's got some dirty language in there, but overall I was totally satisfied with it. And I hope Netflix brings more quality film like this, especially, if they're going to raise prices like they've been doing recently, that you got to give us a little more higher content quality on the film side of things because they're usually known for good television, but we need more good Netflix films, especially with these big stars. Make it worth it. Use them in their talents, and this film does. I think it lets Ryan Reynolds just do his thing, and he was on point this time, so really, really good film, and I really want to hear your guys' thoughts on it. Let me know, did you guys like it? Did you not like it? And please make sure to subscribe so you don't miss one of my movie reviews. I also do TV reviews as well and celebrity interviews, so you're going to want to check that out. And please follow me at Steve Varley Show on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more of me. And I'll see you next time.